You have the net profit
Yeah,
figure.
it is 367. Sorry to burst the bubble, but this is also slightly ahead of what we were expecting. We were expecting numbers to come at roughly about 286, 300 crore rupees, and this is 367. So they have definitely done better than what we were expecting. And the possibility they have done a beat as far as the margins are also concerned. Margins have come at 35.6%, which is roughly about 80 basis point lower than the previous quarter. We were expecting a 190 basis point decline in margins, so they have done better as far as margin performance is concerned. Mobile data traffic has grown at 178% year on year. That's the kind of growth they have seen in this quarter. I'll have to see how it works out for the quarter on quarter growth. We were expecting 55% kind of growth in this quarter, but this comes with the decline, sharp decline in data RPMs. We'll have to still wait for the details on that front. So top line seems to be in line with expectations. EBITDA margins, there is a beat, and net profit also there is a beat, but not as big a beat as we were expecting it to be earlier.
Yeah, and all I can say is that since everybody had got that figure wrong across the board, thank God the results were not announced while the markets were trading. Sunita, you're saying that the EBITDA is in line, the net profit is beyond expectation, and those are two very important parameters, because that should also perhaps give us a little insight into the fact that we're likely to see healthier ARPUs, for example?
No, we are expecting to see the pressure as far as the ARPUs are concerned, because you have to remember that although the RailJio has stopped giving freebies, but they are offering services at a very, very deep discount. So the pressure is likely to be there as far as ARPUs are concerned, especially in RPMs are likely to continue under pressure for both voice as well as data services. But at the same time, the volume growth is substantial. You have to see the minute growth that we had seen in last 2 quarters. Even in this quarter, we are expecting 8.5 kind of growth in the minutes, but more minutes growth is largely coming because of the incoming calls, not outgoing calls, and there is a difference between how the pricing is for the incoming calls. For any incoming call, the company gets only 14 paisa. For an outgoing call, on an average, they get roughly about 55 to 60 paisa. So there is a difference, and that is why we are expecting RPMs to be under pressure for voice as well as data services. Whether the volume growth that we are seeing in case of data, if that compensates for the fall that we are likely to see in the data RPMs, that's something that we need to watch out for. Even with the Jio feature phone, that's the kind of expectation that although the Jio phone will be disruptive, but at the same time it will expand the 4G market, and which could be beneficial for Bharti going forward. So that's the expectation we have to read. Although on one side it is hitting the pricing, but whether the volumes can negate that kind of growth, that's something that how that pans out we have to see, and that's when a stronger brand like Bharti comes handy.
Okay, so you keep going through that press release. Let me go back to the two gentlemen joining us here. Gentlemen, I hope you've digested that net profit figures. Actually, it's 367 crore rupees. Nevertheless, it is a beat. Maybe not as big a beat as was initially being envisaged. Sanjeev Bhasin, if I could now get your comments.
Yeah, like I said, it was not possible. Now, this number could be masked because there is a large part of 5,000 crore revenue which has shown a sharp jump from the Africa business. There could have been some margin expansion there. We will have to wait for the data invoice, but I think ARPUs have been under pressure, and like Sunita pointed out, it's all about volumes, and Bharti is concentrating on the volume. It has the largest market share. I think that could have played down well for this quarter, but definitely it would be in line. However, Nayantara, you have to see the stock has rallied from 340 to 430. It hit a new high. So I think everything is in the price tomorrow. In fact, you might see a sell-off, given that this was already, there was in the rumor that the numbers would be reasonably good, and that has been played out.